Hello everyone and welcome to Wanderer Wednesdays. Today I'm going to be talking about the heads-up display in video games, and because it's Wanderer Wednesdays, more specifically in open world games. Because I kind of want to make the argument that removing your HUD is a good thing. Mostly because it makes for a more cinematic experience. Obviously there's going to be downsides, but for now let's focus on the upsides and I'll get to the downsides later. The overwhelming majority of footage I'll likely be using in this video will be with no HUD. And just look at it and compare it to footage when the HUD's up. It makes things look better. It's a very simple point, I know, but I really like capturing footage with no HUD because it makes for a more cinematic experience and is just nicer to watch, I find. And I like it whilst playing because it lets me enjoy the beauty of games more, which is something a lot of people are happy just glance over and not worry about, but I play a lot of games because I like the look of them as well. If I don't like the art style of a game, it's something that can put me off of it, but there's a lot of games I just like how they look, I like certain elements of them. I'm not a huge graphics nerd or anything, I don't have to play everything in 4K and ultra, but when I can have games just look nice, it's a huge bonus when I'm playing them. And removing the HUD removes some more tacky elements, I suppose, that I don't need to be seeing all the time whilst I'm playing. Now, with just a quick talk about why I like playing with no HUD, let's talk about the downsides. Because there's obviously a reason that all of my footage isn't no HUD, and everyone's just not playing without a HUD. Because if it looks better, and it's a nice thing to have, why wouldn't everyone turn it off? Why is it included there? And obviously the HUD provides a lot of good information you'll want whilst playing. It's the heads-up display. It tells you how much health you've got, how much ammo you've got in your weapon, various info about the game, be it quests or notifications or rewards or so much other stuff. You don't just naturally know in most games what you need to be doing constantly. You haven't got all the information at all times just in your head. You need reminders. And you need to know when things change. And there's a lot of stuff that the HUD does which is valuable, like compass. A compass at the bottom or top of the screen is really good for navigating around. So the HUD definitely has a lot of benefits. But I want to talk as well about if there's a compromise, because some games do work with no HUD. I've done my Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4 realism mode, which were designed primarily around permadeath without a HUD. There's obviously more caveats to them because they're quite in-depth challenge runs, but those were the big two things. It's permadeath, highest difficulty, no HUD. The top three things. Doing the whole Spanish Inquisition bit there, but yeah, there's other ways to reduce how much your HUD is impacting the gameplay or visual experience without removing it entirely. Something I did towards the end of Fallout 4 when I was playing that was I lowered my HUD opacity, because I either have it at the start 100%, if I wanted something cinematic, I'd turn it down to 0. Instead, just have it at like 50%. Okay, I can still see all the HUD elements clearly enough, but I can see through them as well, and it's not quite as glaring when I'm staring at the screen for an hour or two that I'm constantly checking what my objective is. I can just appreciate the scenery a bit more because it's not quite as distracting. Also, various games allow you to reduce the number of elements you have in your HUD. I remember when Fallout 76 footage started coming out, first of all, so many people just had like 5 or 6 quests covering the right-hand side of their screen, which I could not stand. I like having one quest, maybe 2 or 3 at most, but I try to keep it just to 1, and that reduces how much it's filling up the page. Certain games also allow you to toggle individual HUD elements on and off. So maybe you can get rid of a compass, you can get rid of a quest marker, you can get rid of stamina or something else. There's little tweaks like that. Just reduce some of the stuff that you don't need, or even some games which allow it just to show up when it changes. So maybe your health and ammo only show up when you fire the gun or take some damage, or heal yourself. That way you're not constantly thinking to yourself, oh, I know I've got 100% health. You don't need to know every single second that you've got 100% health, you need to know when you take damage. So if it only shows up when you take damage, then that's a good thing. If you're at 100%, it just goes away. It's nice. And certain games do this on their own, other ones will give you that option in the options menu. and I do suggest people check out option menus of games. I know I used to just ignore them a lot, especially with new games. I'd just be like, yep, I just want to play, but there's so many things in the options menu, and I'll likely make videos about more options in the options menu, which is essentially what this video is, because it's really good to play around and customise the experience to how you want it. And speaking of how you want it, how do you enjoy playing games? Do you prefer having lots of elements on the HUD, having all of the information you need at all times, and not worrying so much about the aesthetics and beauty of the game? Or would you rather play a game like, I believe I was told recently that Hellblade? Yeah, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. Apparently that's designed to be played without a HUD. Would you prefer something like that, where you get an experience that's a bit more immersive, and which allows you not to worry about all of these little elements, which remind you you're playing a video game? Let me know in the comments below. As always, like the video, because I need likes apparently for algorithmic stuff. Yay! Yeah, do all the YouTube stuff. Subscribe if you're new and enjoy me just rambling, because I do this about once a week. It's not always this kind of stuff. Sometimes it's more Let's Play formatted, sometimes it's big discussion pieces, sometimes it's just complete randomness where I've obviously got no idea what I'm doing. But regardless, thank you all for watching. As always, I've messed up the outro there. Still, Sarge out, end of video, etc. Thanks for watching.